Okay. Welcome to another edition of Big Ooh Top 20 Countdown. We're in season 8, baby. This
Yes,
week we're counting down the top 20 contemporary jazz songs. Plus, we got our guest, Mariah Ecology. Plus, we have some really three great extra songs and a really special comedy corner. Let's get into it. The number 20 song comes from Mark Culprit. This song is called Roll It Out. Let's get into it. Mark Culprit, Roll It Out on number 20 on Big Stop 20 Countdown. Season 8 is great, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was the number 19 song, Rollins with the Eternal Dance. We're with our guest, Mariah Ecology. What's going on?
what's going on? It's so good to see you, Big O.
Good to see you too. Tell my
Yeah.
listeners about yourself.
Well, I am a neo soul singer songwriter. Born and raised in South Jersey, but currently living out in LA. That might move soon though. So I mean,
Uh oh.
inflation
Uh
is crazy.
oh.
The rent is renting, and it's too much.
I'm
Um,
telling you.
but outside of that, I'm an educator. So I teach in the Africana Studies department at Cal State Dominguez Hills. This is my
All
eighth
right,
year.
now.
Yeah, it's my eighth year there as a professor.
Wow.
I'm on a healing journey. I'm on so many things, and I am just grateful to be here.
That's awesome. So, wow, we're gonna start off with the music first.
Yeah.
How did you get into music?
It's funny. So I did an interview recently with the LGBTQ archives, and I talked about this. So I started writing my own music because my ex told me she wasn't gonna come see me sing anymore. She didn't want to see me sing white people music anymore. She wasn't gonna come to karaoke with
What?
me. And she told me if I didn't write my own stuff, that she wasn't gonna listen to me sing anymore. And I don't think that she said it
Wow.
because like she thought I was gonna do it. I thought it was one of those challenges that's like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? Like this will make
Yeah.
that stop, right? But all it did
Yeah.
was light me up because I did my first song and I haven't stopped since then. So that was in 2017.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so
Hmm.
cool. Wow. 2017. So how many
Yeah.
projects do you have out? How many projects do you
Right
have
now,
out?
I have out two EPs, and I have
Uh-huh.
a couple of singles out. But I'm working on my debut album right now.
Whoa! Why
Working
did it
on a
take you so long
whole
to work
album.
on
Oh,
why did it take you so long to do a whole album?
well, because I was in that relationship, so I was in a long-term
Mhm.
abusive relationship, right? And that
Oh,
really stunted a lot of my growth. So like you actually so remember the partner that you met me with? Remember
yes,
her?
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, that's her. That's
Oh,
who
are
I'm
you
talking about in the
serious?
song. Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
So, we don't do names because we don't like to give people any free press, right? But
Thank you. That's it. That's it. That's
but
it.
the people who know are the people who know, you know what I mean? And
Yes,
you're
yes,
one of those
yes,
people who knows. So yeah,
yes.
it stunted a lot of my growth. I wasn't able to like network the way that I wanted to. I wasn't able to stay at the shows and to support other artists. So like my journey was very, very slow to start. It was very much so like um survival mode while also trying to do something for myself.
I understand. I definitely understand that. Sometimes
Mhm.
it be like that. Sometimes it be,
Mhm.
you're kind of like
Yeah.
me. When I get in a relationship, I stop everything to just focus on that person. I'm like you when it comes to that. But we have to get out of that and do ourselves.
Oh, we
We
did.
have to do. Yeah.
It's been 2 years now. 2 years that I've been out of that.
Woo!
So,
2 years
yeah,
of
the
freedom.
elevation
That's
is real.
awesome.
Yes, thank you
That
so much. The healing is real. The
that
elevation is real. Like I am doing so much better today than I ever have. I feel the best in my life that I ever have. So, you know, all things for a
yeah.
reason.
That's right. That's right. You're right about that. But you guys are going to talk more to our guest, Mariah Ecology. But let's get into the next song. The number 18 song comes from Lawson Rollins. This is the first no, I think this is the second of three. This song is called The Eternal Dance. Let's get into it. Lawson Rollins, The Eternal Dance on Big Stop 20 Countdown Season 8. Yeah. Um, you guys, that was the awesome Lawson Rollins, another one by him, Sunlit Sunlight Bassanova bossa nova. I'm sorry, sometimes I get a little tongue tied. You know how it is.
Okay.
As well, girl Mariah College. So what is it that you teach over at Cal State?
So I teach in the Africana Studies department.
Okay.
So primarily I teach Intro to Hip Hop, which is a hip hop theory class, which is really
Mm.
fun, right? Because when people come into my class, there's a lot of misconception. So they come in and they
Mhm.
think it's a dance class, or they think that we're only going to listen to or talk about music. And I'm like, no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Hip hop is a movement, it's a platform, it's so much bigger than this. It's a tool, right? It's a resource, it's a way for us to communicate. It's so much bigger than that. So they get a whole social like a social experience of hip hop rather than just kind of basic learning, right?
Yeah.
I teach a lot of like the intro to comparative global and ethnic societies. So talking about
Okay.
people's all over the world, right? Our commonalities, our
Okay.
differences, our goals, our dreams, all of those things, right? And I try to take it from
Okay.
points of empowerment too and give them some, those types of classes are basically a study of us, right? It's a study of
Yes.
all of you, so we create a lot of dialogue spaces, a lot of safe spaces, a lot of brave spaces, a lot of brave spaces for people to really get more information and relight that the desire to learn, right? So yeah,
Yes.
I really enjoy what I do. I love being in the Africana Studies department. It's hands down my favorite place to be on campus.
Oh, okay.
And like we don't even have a physical space, right? But that goes to show
You
you how
don't.
much support we all provide for each other. So I'm grateful.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Um, what out of all the things that you do, what is your favorite? Singing, music, teaching. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
The infusion of them. So
Oh,
I
okay.
am I'm trying to do a different type of tenure track packet. I don't want to
Mhm.
just write articles. What else can I do, right? Especially
Yeah.
being involved in this hip hop class. Like I've learned a lot over
Mm,
the years in this course. And so for
okay.
me, it's like, now what do I take what I've learned and infuse that? So really practicing what I preach, not just telling my students, oh, learn something, do something, right? But actually doing it and demonstrating that. So I'm using my music. So Liberation is actually one of the first ones for this to build my
Wow.
tenure track packet. So all of
Okay.
that is going to be academia, intellectual
Okay.
academia.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Before I go any further,
Mhm.
I want to ask you this question because I'm getting older. I forget sometimes, and I got to ask you this question. How did you choose the name Mariah Ecology?
So Mariacology, it means the study of me, right? So it's playing off the idea of me being a professor. That's really when I started this journey. It's
Okay.
playing off of the idea that I've been really learning myself, and so I'm kind
Okay.
of sharing that with the world as it's kind of unfolding, right?
Okay. Yes.
And it's kind of an invitation, right? It's a call to action for us to be our own field of study. Like I'm a whole field of study. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yes.
Like
I know. I know. I am.
in a singular day. You can't learn about
Yes.
me in a singular interview, right? But
That's
all of
true.
us
That's
are like
true.
this. So it's really
That's
a call
true.
to action for community as well to stop limiting ourselves.
All
It
right,
grew
man.
when I first
That's,
came up with this name, because when we first
uh-huh.
come up with our stage names, we're like, it'd be weird at first. So it
Yeah.
really has grown on me over the years.
Wow. That is so cool. But you guys want to talk more to our guest, Mariah Ecology. Let's get back in this countdown. The number 16 song comes from Lawson Rollins. This song is called The Calling. Let's get into it. Define the Lawson Rollins song, The Calling, on Big Old Step 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did the number 15 song. Is by Robin Ford. That song was called Born Under a Bad Sign. We're talking to our guest, Mariah Ecology. Now it's the time for your song. The first extra song of the week is
Ooh,
Jump, and it features
yes.
an artist. Tell me about this song, please.
So Jump is still my favorite song that I've written because it was the last song that I wrote to myself before I left that relationship. So it was a call for me to like just do something, like doubt yourself and do it anyway. Try something
Mhm.
because what you're doing right now isn't working. I'm like, I had been doing therapy, I had been trying to get on this self-love journey, which I like kind of started right about that time.
Yes,
But I
yes.
still needed to make a major change that I wasn't making. And I feel like we all kind of get caught in that fear
Yes.
The unknown when we're trying to make major changes, or all the self-doubt and the what if this doesn't work, the what ifs, right? But what if it
Hmm.
does? And so I was really trying to find ways to reframe that for me. And so Jump really
Hmm.
came out of that. And it's funny because, like, I tell this all the time, it was a household favorite song, and she didn't know that that's what it was about when I wrote it, right?
Wow. I've done songs like that.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
so so now it's transformed into this song that I use to inspire other people to choose themselves, to make those
Yeah.
hard decisions, to
Yeah.
face the fear. Like, the fear is going to be there regardless, and the time is going to pass at the same time. So you don't know what if is going to be the what if that transpires. So try the what if that's going to make you the happiest.
That's true. That's true. So let's get into it. The first extra song of the week, Mariah Carey with "Jump" on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all, that was a really great song. I heard that song before and I loved it.
Yeah.
And do you have a video to that song?
No, not yet. Not yet. Because everything that I do is 100% on me, funded by me. Everything that I do is through and with community, and then teaching full time on top of that, and
Okay.
a doctoral program on top of that. My music videos
Oh,
are a little behind, but I don't have one to that yet. But that's why I really enjoyed this process with this particular
yes,
take that song, because
yes.
the person who runs the LGBTQ archives, he actually created the tracking for that. So it was
Oh, wow.
specifically for that interview. Yeah. So
That is so
that version
cool.
hasn't been released yet. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
On
we
YouTube.
got something to look forward to.
Say
We got
again?
something so we got something to look forward to then.
Mhm. Mhm.
Something else to look forward to. Wow. And you guys, before we go any further, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I think I met her at the Hollywood open mic, was it 4 years ago before the pandemic?
That's been a couple of years, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because I think I remember I forgot what song. I've done so many songs like that open mic, and then one time I heard her sing. I was like, wow, I gotta get your number. We gotta, I gotta get your number. We can be friends.
Yeah,
Not
and
like
we've
that.
been like ever
Not.
since.
Yeah, we've been cool ever since, man. I've
Mhm.
seen her like, man, she's a really artist. And matter of fact, she's a really great artist. And matter of fact, we use the same beat for one song. I think we
Yeah,
did. I
yeah.
was like, oh man, we're on the same wavelength. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Well,
we
we
even
got
use the same
we
beat.
got good taste.
Yeah, we should do a remix to that. Have your
You
song
know
mixed with my
I'm
song.
down for it.
You know that they have like, remember how they infuse some songs like they do like on YouTube. We should do
Yeah,
that with that.
I'm down. I mean, the
Yeah,
songs are
man.
already on the beat.
Yeah, it's a really
We
awesome
can
beat.
have
And
fun.
you know what? I didn't realize that you had the same beat until we were at the DJ Bree show. I was like, "That's my beat.
Yeah,
What you doing singing on my beat?"
I
I
remember
was
that.
like, man, I was like, "What? I'm gonna have to go up there and sing." And you don't know, but I was singing the word while you were performing. I was actually singing the words of your song too. I was
Oh
singing with
my,
you.
you're
Yeah,
awesome.
man. I said, "Wow, man!" And I see you going through a lot, and I'm so glad that you're still going in your music journey. You're still awesome going on your music journey. Um, One thing I'm going to ask, Mariah College, you asked about that, and you're heavily involved in the you said LGBTQIA archives. Am I correct?
So it's actually a new feature. Well, it's a
Uh-huh.
new what should I call them? I guess so it's a community member who's just really trying to create a space for us to, like, bookmark our own stories, right? Because these are the
Okay.
things that'll be read in 100 years, 200 years, when people
Yeah.
are looking back and saying, what were LGBTQ people like back then, right? And
Hmm.
we all know, right? Especially as people of color, we know that it's better
Yes.
for our stories to be written and controlled
Yes.
by us, right? And
Yes.
so I appreciated what he was doing. So I'm one of the earliest interviews that he has for this, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, we
Wow.
only have
And
a couple,
how
but
did you get involved
he's
with
been
him?
shooting them out. So I mean, he's really, really getting a lot of great traction.
Wow. How did you get involved with him?
He randomly saw me at a show and
Hmm.
connected, like same way that you and I got connected. That's how I get connected to a lot of people, you know. And it's like,
Wow.
I think that people look at me and they think that I'm gonna be like kind of stuck up or something like that
Yeah.
because we all
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But I'm really
Yeah.
not that person. I'm down to earth. I'm funny as fuck. Like I want to have a good time. I don't want no drama. I don't even drink anymore. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be me.
Wow.
I want to do the network and the community build. So forget what this looks like. You know, forget all of
Yeah.
this and just connect with me.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You
Mhm.
started drinking. How long has it been? How long have you been sober?
4 years actually, as of
Oh,
August 26th.
congratulations. Happy 4 years.
Appreciate
But you know what? I don't, it's not a joke to any alcoholics. But when people ask me when they try to give me a beer and stuff like that, I said no, thank you. I've been
it.
sober for 43 years and 2 months.
Good for you. Congratulations.
You know how old I am?
I know you're over 40.
I said I've been sober for 43 years and 2 months. I'm
Uh-huh.
43 years. I'm 43 years and actually no, it's like 43 years and 3 months. I said, I've been sober for 43 years and 3 months.
Hey, you got
I'm
the best
43 years and
counter.
3 months.
You got the best counter.
You know what? I only been drunk once, and that's because somebody had to make me. I'm really
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah, man. Because I know the journey, man. I've seen some things, some people, but we're not
Mhm.
gonna get into that. It's not about me. It's about you.
Yeah. Well, it's
And it's
funny you
about
bring
this.
that up. It's funny you bring that up because like I don't have a typical sobriety story either. You know, like it's not a
Yeah,
typical sobriety story anymore for you to just be sober since birth, right? And I went
yeah.
sober for my ex, not because I needed to. I went sober because I knew if I didn't, she wasn't going to. And she wasn't going
Wow.
to. So it was
That's,
also it also marks the last time that she physically assaulted me. And so that was why
wow.
that was why. Yeah.
That's crazy. We're gonna talk more about that. We're gonna
Mhm.
talk more about that story, but let's get back in this
Oh, what's
countdown.
the
The
music?
number 14 song comes from Robin Ford. This song is called Help the Poor. Let's get into it. Robin Ford, Help the Poor on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown.
All right.
Yeah, you guys, we did a three in a row for you. We did the number 14 song was Robin Ford, Help the Poor. Number 13 was Robin Ford, Talk to Your Daughter. And the number 12 song was called George Freeman, Dr. D. But you guys, it's time to get into the comedy corner. Recently, we lost a really good friend of the show, a really good friend of mine, and a really good friend of the show. And oh, wow. His funeral was a couple of days ago, but unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I'll be honest with you, I was tired. I was tired, but
Okay,
we
sorry
love
for
him.
your loss,
We
but
love
also
him.
you deserve rest.
Yeah, we love him and we miss him. Was a comedian none other than Daryl K Mac. Let's get into it. Daryl K Mac's comedy on the Comedy Corner on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all. May he forever rest in peace. We're working on a comedy tribute to him right now. Daryl K. Mack, forever, forever, forever rest in peace, brother. But we're talking to our guest, Mariah College. Mariah College, you hinted at something before we took a break. You were
Mhm,
talking about uh, your sobriety story
mhm.
and how it. I don't want to like bring up too much trauma. I don't want to bring it like
Oh,
if it's a
you're good.
traumatic
I talk about it
situation.
all the time. It's part of my platform now. For reasons like this, we have to be able to talk about it more, or we'll just persist. So I've kind of
Yeah.
turned it into my own brave space.
Tell me briefly about it. Just tell me about why what happened, why it happened, and
Mhm.
I don't want to get too dramatic, but go for it. Go tell your story.
Yeah, I mean, we had I met her in high school, right? So we went to high school together. We ran track together, and I
Okay.
had a crush on her since then. When the
Mhm.
opportunity came up to date her, I was dating somebody else at the time, actually. And I
Hmm.
should have married that girl. And that's like
Oh,
how you know
wow.
that trauma is really, really deep and good at what it does. Um,
Hmm.
so I left her to be with
Hmm.
my abusive ex. Um,
Hmm.
and violence didn't wait too long to start, you know, but it escalated over time. And
Hmm.
it escalated in various ways too. So it's not like just physical, right? It's not like you just getting smacked every day, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's things that they say. Sometimes it's the measures of control, right? Like I wasn't allowed
Yeah.
to wear shorts towards the end of the relationship. She would tell me, she would call me a whore all the time for wearing things that were
Mhm.
fitted or um, I remember we went to a show. I don't know. I don't think
Mhm.
you were at that show, but it was a Bree show. It was one of DJ Bree's shows, and I
Okay.
stepped out of the way so that these dudes could take a picture. I'm not even in the
Okay.
picture, right? I stepped out of
Yes.
the way so they could take a picture, and she's over
Yes.
there telling me, "Can I cuss? Can I say certain
Yes.
things?"
Yes. You
Yeah,
can.
okay.
You can want
I'm just making sure, just checking for you,
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
she looked at me, she's like, "Oh, you over there sucking their dicks, because 'cause I'm letting them take a picture." So, like, imagine,
Wow.
right? If it's something that small, imagine
Yes.
trying to, like, be part of this massive arts community where everyone is, like, hugging on each other and love that's why I was so separate from everybody all the time, right? That's why I would never stayed at any of the events
That's.
because always like that. So
Mm.
as the violence started to escalate, you know, you start to internalize a lot of it. You start to
Yes.
really think that it's got to be you. There's something wrong with you, and that's why you're getting all of this, right? And I would hear things
Hmm.
too. It's your mouth, right? She would say it's your mouth that gets you in trouble. Um, mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, so like the violence escalates and escalates and escalates until you do something about it, essentially,
Hmm.
right? But you get
Yes.
so depleted that trying to do something becomes the most difficult task in the world. So you don't. You
Yeah.
don't, you know? So music really it became the only place that I had left, and it was the
Hmm.
only thing that I had for myself, right? So actually the next song that I have for you, I think I sent Love Truth as the second
Yes.
song.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yes.
one
Yes.
of the songs that I wrote early, early, early on. I wrote and recorded it at the exact same time, and it's free flow, like me trying to tell myself to love on myself, right? Because of all of
Okay.
these things that's going around. Because
Say that story. Say that story because we're gonna talk about it. We're
I'm
gonna talk about that next. Next. But you guys, let's go back in this countdown. The number 11 song comes from Joe Farnsworth. This song was called "Bobby No Rags." Let's get into it. "Bobby No Rags" by Joe Farnsworth on Big Old Step 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, that was the number 10 song, Javon Jackson with Amy Steen. Now it's time for the second extra song of the week. Riotology with Love Truth. You started telling the story and just complete it. Complete the story. Love
yeah, so
Truth.
Love Truth is like that free flow thought. It took 6 hours, about 6 hours to write and record and do all the backgrounds, everything at the same time. Self-produced, right? And it sounds like it
Wow.
to me. Like it sounds self-produced at this point because now
Yeah.
I'm like, trained enough to kind of hear more things, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have other people. There was no networks for me to work with like that, right? And the more I tried to do that, the more dangerous my situation would become. So I had to
Wow.
figure it out. It was either do it yourself or don't have it. So I did it
Definitely.
myself. And then Love Truth also became the first and only music video that I have off of Something Random. Again, somebody found me at a show, was like, "You're
Uh,
dope, and we want to do a video with you." They
okay.
called they had contacted me because they had a video shoot that was already set up, but the
Mm-hmm.
artist had to cancel. And they were like, "Do you have something that we can fit into this concept?" And I had Love Truth in it. I was like, "We can fit it into this concept." But I had my own little tweaks and things. So I wanted to make sure that the lead in my video was a Black queer woman, right? I wanted to make sure um, that there were Black people around, like that it wasn't just a specific like, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
those representations of myself, of community, and I don't want anything to just be so incredibly mainstream that it
Mm-hmm.
becomes non-relatable to community anymore.
That's
Um,
right.
Now my ex was there that night, and she tried to
Oh.
blow that whole motherfucker up. Okay, now listen.
Uh
So
oh. Uh oh.
she didn't know the plot of the video, but she had comments on it anyway, right?
Uh
So
oh. Uh
first
oh.
part of the video. The first part of the video is me kind of ignoring this dude, right? Because he's not the
Mm-hmm.
thing that I'm interested in. My lead hasn't come in yet, right?
Oh, okay.
Um, and she starts coming and going off talking about I'm selling out. Oh, you're doing this heterosexual shit. It was real
Mm-hmm.
bad, yeah. And then she went and sat in the car for the rest of the shoot, and I'm glad because if she didn't,
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't have gotten done.
Wow. But let's get
Yeah.
into it. Let's get into your song, Love
Let's
Truth by Mariah Carey. On Big Old Stop 20 Countdown. I'm sorry. I don't know. Mariah Carey, Love Truth on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, that was the awesome song "Love Truth." Mariah Ecology. I almost called you Mariah Carey.
A lot of people do. It's funny. Since I was a kid. They've called me that since I was a kid.
I was like, oh no, I said Mariah Carey.
Oh
But,
no. I mean,
but a
if you could have been
question.
mixed up with somebody, is that really
Yeah,
that bad
yeah.
of a person
They
to
always,
get
they
with
always, you know,
shit?
they always mix me up with Mike Tyson. With Mike Tyson and George
You know
Foreman. I'm like,
what?
oh my god. I'm like, yeah. They used to call me that all the time. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I guess I wish I had. I wish I had his money.
Huh. Same. I wish I had Mariah Carey's money. I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. I'm no, I don't want to get
You
there.
gonna get there. You're definitely gonna get there. But you also, but you're one thing is that strikes me about you is that you're a proud out lesbian.
Mhm.
How was that? I mean, how did you get to that point where you're proud of it? You just say fuck it, I'm just gonna tell everybody. And how did you get to that point? Briefly, just give me that story, like
Yeah, my
5 minutes.
family. Honestly, my family, because I'm grateful to not have that traditional like coming out story. Because you know
Yeah,
how traditional coming out stories, they're very traumatic, right? It's always
yeah,
like the
they are.
family taking them out and stuff. My family didn't react like that. Like we had so much other shit that was going on that this was the least of their concerns. And it's funny
Oh
because when
wow.
I came out to my oldest sister, she
Uh,
was already like kind of knowing anyway and was so confused. She thought I was coming out as straight. Like
oh wow.
she didn't understand why I was coming out at all. She was like, what is happening here? Yeah, so
Wow.
I have a non-traditional coming out story for sure. I have a very supportive family who has never made me feel any kind of way or disowned me or anything like that. And for that, like that's been a seed of confidence in me that has been unshakable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We're gonna talk more to you, but we gotta get back in this countdown. Just time wise, just for time, sake of time.
Let's
The number nine song comes from Troy Roberts. This song is called Funktafarian. Let's get into it. Troy Roberts, Funktafarian, number nine on Big. Woo! Stop 20 countdown, baby. You know I stole that from Soul Train.
get
Yeah, you guys, that was we did three in a row for you. We did Troy Roberts, Funktafarian. Number number eight was Paul McCann with Without a Question, and number seven was Michael Constantino with Last Dance. Um, you sent me that song. I think it was the Creed song, the Creed remake. Not Creed, but
Radiohead.
Radiohead. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't play. It didn't
Oh,
play.
I
It did. It could.
can send you another copy of it.
Send me another copy of it. We're gonna play that one. Tell me why did you choose that song? Why did you
Um, I
choose to remake that song?
I chose to remake that song for a lot of reasons. The first is kind of circling back, so it's a full circle to one of the earlier stories, right? About being told that I wasn't going to be listened to anymore if I didn't stop singing white people music. But music transcends race, right? And if we're
Yes.
going to be real honest, Black people made rock music too. So
Yeah.
why can't we partake in that? And I've always enjoyed rock a lot. Like I grew up on rock. My older sisters are
Yes.
both white, so they listen to a lot of rock anyway, just by culture, right? So
Yes.
it was always infused within me. And so this just felt like a perfect time to be able to put all of that together and to just, you know, showcase myself too. So what I did with the song, the way that I created my cover of it, it's very
Hmm.
vocally um, challenging, right? There's a lot of vocal demonstration in it um,
Hmm.
that is being drawn from all of the passion and the pain and the everything that the song um, is just encompassed by, right? So everything that
Yeah.
this song embodies, I feel like I was able to put forth more vocally than the original artist. And so everybody who comes across this song, right? If you've ever lived in the margins, if you've ever been somebody who has survived and felt different, been told
Hmm.
that you're different, not good enough, all of that you're a creep, right? Because that's the name of the song, being a creep. You know, you know the song. Even if you don't know the words, you know the song.
Yes.
Um, And as I was taking it to like open mics and things, literally people were crying. Every time I take this song to an
Wow.
open mic, somebody is crying, okay? Because it touches
Wow.
that. It's the words, it's the emotion. And I feel like I have something really unique to offer it in the way that my voice drives those emotions up even bigger. Um, so yeah, so that's why I did this cover. It's one of my absolute favorite things that I've done to date. It shows a lot of the
Mhm.
work that I've been doing with my vocal coach. Shout out to Julian. I've been working with him since like November. He's
Yeah.
fantastic. He's worked with James Brown. He's worked with
Wow.
yeah, Tina Marie, right? So he's done a lot
Wow.
of major things in his career, and he's just a fantastic human being. Um, and
So
he's
you know
really
what? We're gonna talk more about we're gonna talk more about your coach. But let's get into your song, the independent song of the week, Ecology, with the Radiohead cover. How big old South 20 countdown. Yeah, creep. Um, you guys, that was the awesome cover, man, of Radiohead. Wow. Wow, Mariah Ecology, great artist, great artist.
Thank
Um, so you started singing a vocal. You said you started singing a vocal coach. What made you really want to go into a vocal coach?
I've never had one before. And as
Hmm.
a singer, right, this is my only instrument. I don't play
Yeah.
guitar, I don't play keyboard, I don't do any of those things. This is all I've got,
Okay.
right? And so
Okay.
how do I maximize what I have? How do I improve on what I have? Well, as an educator, I know that I have to go find somebody else who knows more about it than I do.
That's
Um,
true.
so I got connected with him with someone else that I was previously dating. Um,
Okay.
and it's literally been one of the best things that I could have ever added to my life. Like he is a phenomenal human, but he does so much to push me and he does so
Mhm.
much to expand what I've already come to the table with. Like I never feel like I'm sitting there in a session with him stagnant. I always feel like there's something else that's getting added every time and I can feel it, I can hear it with every show. You know, the more control you have, the more use of your range in different ways. Like mark my words, I'm gonna get whistle notes, okay? I
Not
am gonna
bad
have
at you.
whistle notes, okay? You're
Not
gonna be
bad at
calling me
you.
Mariah Carey again real soon because
For
I'm
the right
learning these
reason.
vocal
All right
placements. You know,
now.
there's so much that I'm learning. So yeah.
That's awesome. Um, I always ask this question to everybody. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years? Just give me like a brief 4 minute,
Hmm.
3 minute, 5 year story or 5 year trajectory. Or I'm trying to be
Okay.
intelligent. I'm trying to be intelligent. I'm talking to a teacher. I'm talking to a teacher, so I got to be intelligent. All right.
You know what? That's a good reflection question because it's one that I haven't really had in a while. So I think
Yeah.
in the next 5 years, right, I'll definitely have my
Mhm.
doctorate done by then. My doctorate is going to be
Okay.
done in like the next year and a half because that's all I
You
have to
already have
give.
your master's.
I have 3 masters.
Are you serious? Wow. You make me seem real unintelligent because I'm working on my one of my masters. But go ahead.
Yeah, I have 3 master's degrees in public policy, public administration, and cultural studies. And so I'm
Okay.
doing a doctorate of education right now.
Okay.
So I'll have that. I'm developing a community classroom because I don't know if you've seen out there, but higher education is trash. I want to go
Yes,
on
it
strike.
is.
Faculty is looking to go
Okay.
on strike as soon as October, and thank goodness for that because they pay us
Are you
pennies. If I
serious?
gotta be a poor educator, I may as well go
Yes.
be a starving artist. So that's why I'm over here
That's
pursuing
real.
this art and music. Y'all not
That's
paying me
right.
for this.
That's right.
And I can take everything that I have and I can
Uh huh.
still give it to the community at prices that'll be more compatible with their ability to pay without
Yeah.
having them have to be tied to a degree. Because you don't need a degree, you need the education. And those are two
That's
different
true.
things. So I've
That's
been
true.
developing a community classroom in 5 years. That will be fully functional and full because we're gonna manifest that.
That's right. That's right. We put it into the atmosphere, baby.
Mhm,
Yeah. And
mhm.
I'm not calling you baby. I'm just saying. Don't think I'm calling you baby.
I know,
Okay.
I know, big O. I know, I love you. But yeah, getting on music, I think that by then I would like to be doing a lot more like specific tour, you know, so like
Yes.
having a couple of tour dates here and there, having a couple of things that are very, very curated, because I want people to also still have access to me, right? I want people to
Yes.
still be able to come share this journey with me. Um,
Yes.
but I also do want to continue my steps forward and upward too. So that's going to look like having set times in the year where you're going to be able to see me, and those are going to be the opportunities.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But you guys, let's get back in this countdown. The number six song comes from Lenny Moore. This song is called Planetary Misalignment. Features a whole bunch of people. But let's get into it. Lenny Moore, Planetary Misalignment on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown. Yeah, you guys, we did. That was the number five song, Ernesto Cervini, Stro, featuring Nick Felder. Um, but you guys, this will be airing September 21st. And you know I can't have this is an old school gem of the week. You know I can't have a countdown without this song. The number of the old school gem of the week. Oh, tell me you remember. Oh, dancing in September. Do you remember 21st night of September? This is it. The old school gem of the week. Earth,
Yes.
Wind, and Fire with September on Big Ooh Stop 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys, that was the awesome jam of the week. Do you remember? Don't get me started with my Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. It's over. You know what? Usually, you know what? I get into everybody's business, but you've been telling me all your business all countdown. Tell me more of your business. Just give me a five minute more of your business, like 2 or 3 minutes of more of your business.
Oh my gosh, you want more of my business? Sure. So,
Yeah,
um,
two or 2 minutes,
I
2 minutes.
I am
Uh-huh.
currently dating again, so that's pretty
All
nice.
right now, that's when big get back on the horse. That's
That's
right. I don't mean like
interesting.
I mean don't get on a horse, but get back on yeah, get it back on the damn horse.
Hey, listen, you know, she's been phenomenal. It's been really nice to
Yeah,
have somebody to um build like a partnership with and have
yeah,
accountability with, but to also just have a friendship with, like that was one thing that
yeah.
I really wanted. I'm like, we're not gonna work if I'm not even friends with you. Like if I can't be
That's
friends
right.
with you, you can't even be in my space that long, right?
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
but it's been completely, completely different, a completely new experience, and it's terrifying.
Yes,
But I am still allowing myself to go through the process and feel all the feels and do all the things. So
yes.
yeah, I mean, that's my tea.
That's right. That's right. That's some good tea. I need some tea like that myself. I need a new. You don't have to teach me how to get into a relationship. You gonna teach me how to get into a relationship. But one thing
Completely
I want,
unexpected. Stop looking. I know it's cliche. They always say it, right? They always be like, "Oh
yeah,
my gosh!" As soon as I stop looking, bro. As soon
yeah,
as I stopped looking, because I was not. I was done.
yeah,
Okay, the lesbian
yeah,
dating pool is like a cesspool.
yeah.
It's disgusting. It
Okay.
needs to be drained and bleached.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
it's gross. Wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it at all. So if I could give anybody advice, it's literally stop looking and let your ancestors take over.
All right now, all right now, and that's your inspiration right there. That's the inspiration. But you guys, let's get back in this countdown because on the sake of time, we got to keep going.
Yeah.
The number four song comes from Malcolm Strachan. This song is called "Cut to the Chase." Let's get into it by Malcolm Strachan on Big Oh Stop Countdown, baby. Yeah. You guys, that we did a three in a row for you. Number four was Malcolm Strachan with "Cut to the Chase." Number three was a Pacific Jazz Group with "Festive Minor," and number two was Greg Emerald with "Uninvited." Now it's time to get into the number one song. The number one song is really one of my favorites on this countdown. Reginald Sinji. This song is called Mirror Soul. Let's get into it. The number one song, Reginald Sinji with Mirror Soul on Big. Woo! Stop 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, that was the number one song. Mariah College, how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, they can follow me on social media. You can follow me and send me messages. Like you can comment, you can DM me, right? So it's at Mariah Ecology. You'll see it right down here, MERYAHCOLOGY. Um, on the top of my Instagram is a link tree. So it's
Mhm,
linktr.ee/Mariah
mhm.
Ecology. And that'll give you all of my other contact information, news articles that have been written about me, all of my music. So where to find everything about me is going to be right there on the top of my Instagram.
I want to say thank you very much to our guest, Mariah Ecology, for coming through. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. I
All
appreciate your friendship.
the
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to all the stations that carry us, the Block FM, now So-Called Radio, Kill Radio, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, podcast stations. I know I'm forgetting somebody. We're all over the place. And also Spotify. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also want to say thank you to the listeners for holding me up for the past 8 seasons.
I'm so
And
proud of
also
you.
thank you very much. And also, thank you all for voting me for the People's Choice Award for the Podcast Awards. I thank you so much for that. Thank you
Hey,
all for voting me. Thank you. Yes. And thank you for helping me with the Entertainment Podcast of the Year. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. And the thought for the week is life is like a tunnel. You just got to keep walking until you see the light. That's not deep, but it's deep. But you guys, we're going to go
yes,
through.
something like that this week, y'all. Oh my gosh, the serendipity. Go ahead. Leave the wisdom. Do it.
Thank you, you guys. And we always do this with a gospel song, but earlier this month I released this song. It was actually, I don't know why, but 14 years ago, it was on my album, my second album, Open Shade, but I decided to release it again and release a video for it. The song is called The Answer is Jesus. Let's get into it. The Answer is Jesus by me. May God bless you. May God keep you until we meet again. And that's it. And hold on, that's the end of the recording.